Hello, my name is Micheline Delva, and I'll be providing you a presentation on interpersonal communication. According to Stewart, humans live in a world of meaning, and communication is a process of collaboratively making these meaning. Human beings are unique among living creatures in their ability to communicate with each other through languages, verbal and nonverbal communication, and also possess a capacity to know each other intimately. In fact, it is a fundamental trait of humans to attach meaning to their relationship with others. Communication is a major part of human living, and it is defined as a complex collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning. Interpersonal communication is the kind of communication that happens when people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize their personal communications. According to Allen, self-knowledge is an important ingredient for increasing the ability to communicate and interact effectively with others. Collaboratively, people work these meanings to construct identities. Meaning through verbal and nonverbal communication, it reminds us that communications was occurred since birth and continues after death. Choice. The choices communicators reveal their ethical standards and commitment. An example of this is shaking hands and bowing are influences that we may choose to engage in when we meet with another person for business lunch. Culture is ethnicity, gender, age, social class, sexual orientation, and other cultural factors that can affect communication. Your culture and mind affect what we say about communication and how we respond to it. Identities. Collaboratively, people work to construct identities. Identity messages are always in play verbally and non-verbally. For example, a woman can communicate in ways that conveys whether she is more feminine or more masculine. Conversation is important because it is the ability to converse on any subject, to air any problem which might arise, and to share private fears and worries and desires. Next thing is when you face a communication challenge by asking yourself, what can I do to change what will happen next? In order to respond well to communication challenges or problems, one needs to understand basic overview of the DIS model. The DIS model is the four temperament model of human behavior. Everyone has his or her own shape, DIS. For example, I am a D. My score indicates that I mostly possess characteristics of roughness. Roughness entails contestation, toughness, and aggressiveness, whereas mildness involves resignation, smoothness, and harmony. People with a high D in case of conflict, they fight rather than submit themselves. In their attitudes and words, they are often rude and unaware of people's sensitivity and reactions. They find it hard to be polite and civilized. To them, good manners belong to a social code of conduct with which they painfully comply. Their anger is quick to trigger and may result in violent language and behavior. People with this trait can be hard to live with. The next slide will highlight a little bit about myself and my background prior to my coming to the United States. I was born in Haiti and raised in Miami, Florida. Prior to my arrival to Florida, I was raised by different parents before I was reunited with my true family because my parents had migrated to the United States in search for better lives. Over the course of my upbringing, I acquired lots of communication skills, but listening was not one of them. This is the reason I struggled over the years to listen to other people. However, I am glad because this course gives me the kind of awareness I need to be an effective listener, to respond to what is real rather than emotions or misconceptions. According to Allen, listening is a learned skill. It is an active and not a passive action. Listening also is taking in information from speakers, other people, or ourselves while remaining non judgmental and emphatic, acknowledging the talker in a way that invites the communication to continue. Listening can be verbal, vocal pacing, loudness, pitch, silence, or nonverbal gestures such as eye gaze, facial expression, touch, space, and likewise identities or personal characteristics that make you unique, such as being friendly, helpful, focus on relationships, such as mother and daughter or teacher and student relationships, or being in relation to your race or your religion. Identity is present in all communication. Listening is divided in three levels characterized by certain behaviors that affect listening efficiently. As we move from level 3 to level 1, our potential for understanding, retention, and effective communication increases. When we communicate, you are inhaling, or listening enables you to interpret, select, organize, and make inferences about what your conversation partner is saying. Perception changes as you collaboratively build meaning. On the other hand, excelling is self disclosure, revealing to another person how you perceive and are reacting to the present situation, and giving any information about yourself in your past that is relevant to your understanding. Essentially, you want to speak the heart of the matter. Communication barriers distort our messages. Examples include physical barriers such as fatigue, judgment we make about people, deception, flat brain syndrome, and inferring. There are solutions associated with each category. For example, biased listening, considering level 1 listening, which is emphatic. Physical barriers, avoid conversation during stressful moments. Semantic barrier, choose your words wisely and ask for clarification. External distractions, use nexting in conversation to keep it going. Flat brain syndrome, clarify thinking, reduce emotional disturbance, build friendship, and increase confidence. You need to make listening work for you. Understanding personality pattern is one of the keys to improving your relationships and in solving the people puzzle. People fit better in life where they are understood and comfortable. This is the reason you master this information. You'll be well on your way toward identifying features that mark how people behave and respond to others, and how to do this through listening. Allen says that the way you listen and to respond to others will strongly influence how they will respond back to you and how they will feel about your response, such as wanting to continue to talk, feeling turned off, understood, tense, or relaxed. Again, these are the solution to barriers: biased listening, physical barriers, semantic barrier, external distraction, and flat brain syndrome, which we are revisiting again from a previous slide. Now we'll look at what is talker listening card, or TLC. Simply is an A-frame card placed between two people. It helps to keep track of who's talking and who's listening. It helps you to take turns so that both individuals can focus on the other person's point of view and what they're specifically talking about. The talker listening card becomes a game you choose to play with someone. You want to express difficult issues uh, agreed upon, and essentially you want to establish rules for this specific game, and you want to take turns when you establish these rules. The card lets people work or play together even though their opinions differ widely. It transforms an argument into discussion. What is message and meta message? Message is the meaning of the words and sentences spoken, and meta message is the meaning that is not said, at least not in so many words. Keep the relationship going because conversation is the relationship. There should be a gathering of individuals who share a common bond and a close relationship, and a partnership of like minded people who have a common purpose and seek agreement and community together. Conversation also gives the ability to relate well to others, their language, culture, situation, and their needs. The overarching goal is the need to listen empathetically to others and to communicate effectively with others in a way that influences interpersonal relationships in a meaningful, worthwhile, and deeper level. So listen in a way that invites talkers to invite you or me into their lives. Be attentive and do not interrupt or answer until the person has finished. We need to be more culturally aware or culturally oriented by learning the right skills and principles to communicate. We need to collaborate to work out our prejudices with other people and to stop emphasis on or our concerns specifically on ourselves. To enlarge the conversation, we want to ensure that we are open or have openness, a means to be approachable to other cultures. You want to ensure that you visit other countries so that we can understand their cultural norms and the way that they relate to one another, how they openly communicate, and essentially how they care and express themselves. You want to counsel through the spirit of understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. You want to have empathy in order to minister as a Christian to Christians and other non-Christians as well. You want to have more faith in the ability and the knowledge to know that you will be able to successfully express yourself to another group. The next subsequent slides are going to be my reference slides, where I obtain my information, and some of the judgments and terms that I use in this presentation. I hope this presentation was able to assist you, and I hope this presentation is also able to bless you in more ways, to be able to be open more to other races, other cultures, and other religions outside of your own, and the ability to be comfortable knowing that you'll be explaining God's words to other people, and to effectively do it without harming or seeming as if you have any prejudices. Well, that's all. Thank you for listening, and God bless.